What is going on today, guys? Tomcat here, and today I'm going to be showing you how to unlock the Nissan GTR Horizon Edition, or well, Nissan GTR Black Edition Horizon Edition, in today's, well, not really today's Forzathon, but the current Forzathon, which is today's Forzathon. Anyway, moving on from random stuttering, if you're in the Atlanta area or around the area, and you'd like to come to a really legit car meet, Helen Import Day is actually tomorrow. I've talked about this in a couple of other videos before, but yeah, check it out. It's in Helen, Georgia. Like I said, tomorrow I'll be there. You can hang out with me. We'll talk cars, and you'll get to see a lot of the other cars that are out there too. Now, back to the challenge at hand. It is going to be pretty much impossible to do this challenge in a stock Skyline 2000 GTR. Just keep that in mind. You're going to have to upgrade. You're going to have to upgrade. There's no long and short of it. That's just what it is. What I did was grabbed a Skyline 2000 GTR and then took it into the garage and did some upgrades on it. Now, the main thing that I did was I went in and I put the kind of Horizon special upgrade kit on it, which brought the power up a good bit, gave you the wide body kit, the wheels that I really like on this car, actually, and then I went in and changed it up a little bit. I did a few different modifications of my own, and originally I was going to leave it like this. But see, I decided it would be much better to swap over to a modern RB motor. Like, I went in and originally put a turbo on the stock motor, and I was like, you know what? You may as well go ahead and swap it, which I did, and I boosted it up to about 630-ish horsepower, and I would say that's going to be, I mean, it's enough power to do the challenge. It's not maxed out, but that's enough power to do this challenge. It's going to be a little bit tricky, but it's definitely doable. Now, I also started off using this car rear-wheel drive. That is, it's possible to keep it rear-wheel drive and do this actual challenge. You can do it, but I would say in the interest, if you want to get this done quickly, I would say go ahead and swap the car over to all-wheel drive, because you're definitely going to be doing quite a few attempts with it rear-wheel drive. If you're going to put this much power behind this car, rear-wheel drive, and you're going to try and do this jump, since it's literally right around a corner, and you can't put that much power down that quick to accelerate out of that corner as quickly as you need to with a rear-wheel drive car to get the jump. So you really have to rely on momentum, which is doable. It's just much more difficult. So personally, I recommend converting the car to all-wheel drive if you want to get the challenge done quickly, but that is up to you. That's the nice thing about this challenge, is that everything that you want to do to the car is up to you. You can put any motor in it that you want. You can put as much power to it as you want. I wanted to leave a little bit of a challenge, so that's why I didn't build it all the way. I just kind of left it at about the mid 600 horsepower range, which means I had to go, as you'll see later on in the video, I had to pull out of the corner the left-hander right before the jump. Literally, I had to basically ride it out at full throttle. So then that's the only way that I was going to be able to get that much speed out of the corner to get enough air to land the jump. Now, originally, like I said, I would say you're going to be much better off using this thing all-wheel drive. You'll see how in a rear-wheel drive configuration, the first 3 gears spin, and you're going to need third gear when you're pulling out of these corners. In fact, fourth spins a good bit too under any kind of cornering load. So you're going to need, and by the way, maximum rear tire size is on this car. So that's another thing. Yeah, I already have the maximum tire size, and it spins a bunch. You need to leave this corner going about 138, 140 miles an hour to nail this. If you hit the jump itself at anything less than 140 miles an hour, you're not going to get it. I'm going to go ahead and tell you that right now. You're not going to get the jump if you hit it at less than 140 miles an hour. It's just not going to happen. So keep that in mind when you're figuring out your car setup and everything like that. You're going to have to, no matter what, whether it's all-wheel drive or rear-wheel drive or how much power it has, all that has to add up to is leaving the lip of that jump at least 140 miles an hour. Anything more than 140 miles an hour, you'll be good. Anything less than 140 miles an hour, it's debatable. Anything less than 135, you're not getting it. So that's kind of the main thing that you need to remember. That 140 mile an hour target as you're leaving the jump is what you really need to keep in mind when you're setting up your car. That is the main thing that matters. Now, the car we're actually going for, I mean, a lot of people like it. A lot of people like the new GTRs, but a lot of people also, they kind of just push them to the side because they're like, oh, it's just another GTR. You know what I mean? If any of you guys have ever seen Rob Dom's video where he goes, ooh, a GTR. Ooh, a GTR. Oh, another GTR. So it's like people just see GTRs all the time, and I think that as far as, you know, GTRs also have a lot of, like, internet fanboys, so they're, you know, that are like, oh my god, it's the GTR, it's the best car in the world, oh my god! So anyway, that's one of those things, too, that kind of makes some people not like the GTR as much, but to be honest, if you look at the GTR, the new GTR, in a fair and kind of uninfluenced by society sort of way, it adds up to being a really, really good car, a really cool car, really fast car, and just a really well-designed car. Like, there's not that much to not like about the car. This time, I left the jump at about 130-ish, so that's when I decided to, and I was right over 400 feet, which you need 450 to make 3 stars, so I went back to the garage. And I was like, well, first of all, I don't know why I went into that area. That was, like, not my original plan. But I decided it was time for an all-wheel drive conversion. And when I started getting, I had, like, a few jumps in a row that were all over 400. There was one that was, like, 415. There was one that was, like, 413. There was one that was, like, 425 that you guys didn't see. And I was trying, like, really trying to get it with the rear-wheel drive. And I wasn't able to put the power down, to put enough power down and to get out of that corner quick enough to hit about 140 leaving the jump. So again, remember, it's all about that 140 mile an hour target. So that's when I decided that all-wheel drive was the way to go. And honestly, after deciding that all-wheel drive was the way to go, I figured it was going to be like no big deal. It was going to be done like instantly. Like, look how much grip we have. We're already fully gripped up in second gear. But to be honest, I feel like I kind of underestimated the fact that there would still be some challenge to this, even with the all-wheel drive conversion. And there is some challenge to this with the all-wheel drive conversion, because a lot of people also think that you convert anything to all-wheel drive and the game suddenly becomes total easy mode. Now, with some cars, yes, that is true, and I'll admit that. Like, some cars, yes, that's true. That's also another reason why almost none of my cars are all-wheel drive converted, except for the ones that I need for a very specific purpose, like this one, for example, or they were built to be, like, comedy cars, you know what I mean? So that was about 130-ish, like, so a little bit over 130, and we managed, again, 405 feet, or in that territory. So I was like, okay, if that was my first one, then, you know, with a bit of practice and a bit of, you know, figuring out my line, then we can definitely improve upon that. So, second time I went down the road, it was it's the main thing you gotta think about is this last corner, and you gotta hit it just right. So I came out of it about 140, hit the jump at 140, and ended up landing at about 423 feet. So that's one of those things where you're like, okay, I know I'm almost there. And by the way, that little trick right there, I had no idea I was going to pull that off. And I was like, huh, that was actually pretty cool. So it started to rain, and I came screaming around this last corner, round about the same speed, about 145 miles an hour. And anything really over that, you're going to get it, because I managed 462.21 feet that time, and that was, as you'll see, because I didn't do any cuts in this part at all, just so you guys knew that that's the jump that unlocked the car. So, no, I didn't do any other cuts, I didn't do any other editing between that jump being landed and right there when I got the car. So, After getting that message, the car is in your garage, and you're pretty much good to go. Now, this video would not be complete without doing a little bit of a test run of the GTR Black Edition Horizon Edition. It feels so weird saying GTR Black Edition Horizon Edition. I feel like I'm just going to call it the GTR Horizon Edition, or the R35 Horizon Edition. But it really, like, I mean, it's quick, it's fast, it's fun, it's got all of those things that you're used to, really, in a GTR. There's nothing that's not GTR-ish about this car. I mean, the body kit obviously looks badass. Like, that wing is just mental crazy. There's so much to love about that wing that, like, dude, it's hard to put into words how much there is to love about that wing. It's just one of those things that, like, you look at it and you're like, damn. Just damn. That is so huge and so over the top, but I love it. And I love it because it's over the top. I love it because it's massive. I love it because it really doesn't need to be there, but it is. Does that make sense to you guys? Like, I love it because it doesn't really need to be there, but it is. And I love things that don't actually need to be on the car, but they are when they look good, okay? Only when they look good. If they don't look good and they don't need to be on the car and they're not functional, then if they're not functional and they don't look good, then they're just rice. But that functions, and it looks awesome, and I actually really like this car. I'll definitely be doing some more upgrades to it later on, and it'll definitely be something that'll stay in my garage for a while. So, if you guys did enjoy this video, don't forget to leave me a like. Tell me in the comments down below what y'all thought of it, and if you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe for more. I'll see you guys next time. Talk to you guys later, and thank each and every one of you for watching.